In the golden city of Lanka, where magnificent palaces shimmered with wealth and power, lived Mandodari, the wise and noble queen of Ravana. Known for her intelligence, grace, and deep understanding of Dharma, Mandodari stood apart from many within the Rakshasa court. Though she was the wife of the mighty king of Lanka, Mandodari was not blinded by pride or ambition. She possessed a clear vision of righteousness and often recognized the consequences of actions long before others did. After Ravana abducted Sita from the forest and brought her to Lanka, a dark shadow began to fall upon the kingdom. While Ravana celebrated his conquest, Mandodari immediately sensed the grave danger that had entered their lives. She understood that Sita was not an ordinary woman. The wife of Rama carried a sacred aura of purity and divine protection. Mandodari realized that holding her captive would inevitably bring destruction upon Lanka. As news spread of Rama's alliance with Sugriva and the gathering of a vast Vanara army, Mandodari's concern deepened. She watched the unfolding events with growing fear, recognizing that Ravana had provoked a force far greater than he realized. Despite Ravana's immense strength and victories over many powerful enemies in the past, Mandodari knew that Rama was no ordinary prince. The stories of his virtues, courage, and divine nature had already reached Lanka. Mandodari repeatedly tried to guide Ravana toward wisdom. She urged him to abandon his pride and return Sita to her rightful husband. In her understanding, such an act would restore peace and prevent a devastating war. Yet Ravana's arrogance had grown too strong. Blinded by ego and convinced of his invincibility, he refused to listen even to the voice of his own queen. As the war with Rama's army began, and Lanka trembled under the assault of the Vanaras, Mandodari watched with sorrow as the kingdom she loved moved closer to ruin. One by one, Ravana's greatest warriors fell in battle. Mighty generals, powerful demons, and even his own sons faced defeat against the relentless forces fighting for righteousness. Among the most painful losses was the death of Indrajit, Ravana's most powerful son and the pride of Lanka. When news of his fall reached the palace, Mandodari's fears were confirmed. The destruction she had foreseen was unfolding before her eyes. Even then, Mandodari continued to recognize the truth that Ravana refused to accept. She understood that Rama was no ordinary human warrior. His actions reflected the presence of divine power, and opposing such a force could only lead to devastation. Yet Ravana's heart remained hardened by pride. The king of Lanka, who had conquered many worlds, could not bring himself to admit his mistake. As the final battle approached, Mandodari witnessed the inevitable fate of Lanka drawing near. The once glorious city now stood on the edge of destruction. When Ravana was ultimately defeated by Rama in battle, Mandodari's grief was immense. She mourned the loss of her husband and the fall of her kingdom. Yet even in sorrow, she acknowledged the deeper truth behind the war. Ravana's downfall was not merely the result of Rama's strength, but the consequence of ignoring wisdom and allowing arrogance to overpower Dharma. Mandodari's story stands as a powerful reminder within the Ramayana. Wisdom often speaks softly, and its voice is not always heard by those consumed by pride. Her insight and foresight revealed that righteousness must guide power, and that even the mightiest kings cannot escape the consequences of their actions. In the grand epic of the Ramayana, Mandodari remains one of the most respected female figures, a queen who understood Dharma even within a kingdom ruled by Dharma. Her wisdom shines as a timeless lesson that true strength lies not in conquest, but in the humility to recognize truth. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mythology Medley. Click the bell icon for more such amazing mythological content.